Titans fans, Titans Nation, football lovers out there, what's going on? We are here back for another episode of the Right Titans podcast. We are your hosts, J Maul,
Trigger Trey.
and we appreciate you joining us. Even if it's your first time joining us, we appreciate you. We have up to 29 subscribers. I think it's about to be 30. Once one
Yep.
of our friends joins, so we are up to 30 subscribers. So if you haven't heard us before, we are the Right Titans podcast, covering all your Titans news, updates, how the season goes, and we got a little bit of a treat for you today, just because it's the bye week. So we're gonna do just a little bit something different. We'll grade the free agents that we have so far based on their performance so far. But yeah, if you hadn't watched our latest video on the Dolphins, make sure you go tune in to that one. We gave you all the insights and who we thought were our NFL MVPs as well. So go check that video out as well. Again, what are your thoughts on that Dolphins game? One more time for me, Trey.
Hey, it's just a dub. That's it. That just a win.
Just
Just a
get it
win.
done.
It's just a step in the right direction. Just still want Will Levis to be our starting quarterback, which Brian Callahan said he would be, but I don't want him to get hurt. I want him 100%, and I want to see what we got, because that's our whole focus of this year, to see what we got in Will Levis and also see what we got in Traylon Burks. That's why I still say don't put Nick Westbrook-Akina in for him, because we know what we got in Nick Westbrook-Akina. I still want
Right.
to see if Traylon Burks got a little anything in the tank, because as of right now, he puttering. Like the
We don't
tank.
know yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
we
we, we
don't we
certainly
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't know. I want to see a little bit more of him, but we'll cover that a little bit later in next week as we get ready to face the Indianapolis Colts. But for today, what we're going to do is grade our free agent acquisitions, Trey. So we're going to start off with that first, and then we're going to go ahead and do the NFL pick'em week by week. What we're going to do is just figure out who's gonna win for Sunday games, Monday night football as well. We're just going to keep up with it. And if you have any guesses, make sure you put your guesses in the chat too. Shout out to, I'm going to call her by her full name, Mitzi Brandon. That's our grandmother, everyone. Appreciate you joining us in here as well. All the support, all the love. And so if you have any comments, questions, it doesn't have to be Titans related. It can be football related. Make sure you just put all your comments there as well. Janice Wright, I'm going to name you out by name as well. That's our mother, by the way, guys. Appreciate you tuning in today. But yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and just blow up the comment. Any questions, comments, concerns. But Trey, we're just going to go into it. I know we were talking about those free agent acquisitions, so I want you to give us a grade: A, B, C, D, or just a complete fail, and see how we did this off season. And I'll throw in a few of those like Rand Carthon and Brian Callahan, Candy Brandon, Candence. We see you out there too. That's our auntie, everyone. So appreciate you joining us as well. But yeah, I want you to name, give us a grade of our free agent acquisition. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Off season grade. So we got quite a few off-season acquisitions. I mean, wouldn't you
Yeah,
say? I mean, we got
yeah.
just a lot of them. I mean, it feels like it was one of our biggest free agents.
Hmm.
I mean, overall, I'm gonna get your overall grade, but just overall, what do you think that we how we did so far as a unit?
Rand Carthon was cooking. Like, no matter what you got to say about now, looking back on the off season, just like as the off season, not playing any games, you're like, whoa, we got something in Rand Carthon. We got something in Brian Callahan. So the offseason itself was just like mind blowing. We've never seen the Titans do something like this. Just spin big on positions of needs and draft well. We've never seen that from any Titans general manager. So it was a sight to see. And Rand Carthon went crazy. And I'll give y'all my grade later. Also, if y'all got grades, toss them in the chat. We'll pull them up, talk about them. So yeah, let's
Yeah,
get into it.
we're gonna give you 30 seconds just to give us our grade, maybe some few insights of what you think, at least thus far. I know some of the starters that we have right now have been playing all world. Maybe we hadn't seen some that we want a little bit more of. But yeah, we're just gonna give us jump right on into it. So starting us off, Trey, we got Lloyd Cushenberry. What would you give?
Lloyd, Lloyd Cushenberry coming into coming into our team in the offseason, I'll give him an A+ because he was the ranked top 3 center in the league. But as of right now, he looking top 10. So I need to see a little bit more out of him. So as of right now, he's playing like a B+. I just want to see a little more consistency, even though he's only allowed 1 sack and a couple pressures. We want you to be an all-pro, Lloyd Cushenberry. So that's what I want to see from Lloyd Cushenberry.
Yeah, I'll give that A+ for sure. I mean, we had Aaron Brewer at the center. Now we got Lloyd Cushenberry starting for us. He's definitely, I think that's an upgrade for sure. I mean, the offensive line was one of our weakest points the last 2 seasons, really. But I mean, that was a really start to the offseason. I know that's a lot of Titans fans were really wanting him to be added to the Titans roster. So for my grade, I'll give it an A+ as well. Probably one of our better acquisitions as well. And so coming in next, we have none other than Calvin Ridley. What's your grade?
A+++. I was in the car. I was in the car listening to 104.5 when this was announced. I literally yelled, and I think the cars next to me heard me because we was in traffic. I will give this the A+. We just need to feed him the ball a little bit more, get him a couple more touches because 1 to 2 touches a game isn't cutting it. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Calvin Ridley, he's a beast. No one saw that coming for sure, right? I think we all flipped on our phones and was like, "Wait a minute, Calvin Ridley,
Yeah.
where did that come from?"
Yeah, and the Jags offered to pay him exactly what the Titans would go pay him, and he chose us over the Jags. So that says something.
Yeah. So what does that mean? We need to use him.
Yes,
That's exactly
yes.
what that means. Let's get him and use him. And like I said before in our last video, it doesn't matter how he gets the ball. It can be screens, drag routes, end arounds. Tanya Hembrick, we see you as well. That's our other auntie, everyone. I'll throw the names out there. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, as well as Calvin Ridley, man, he's a beast. He has the speed. I think a lot of people were concerned about his age being 31 years old, but I'm not concerned of just what I've seen so far. Give him the ball, feed him. We got to get him involved a lot more often because we want that offense that if you watch the Titans game, we also saw the other Monday night game against the Seahawks and the Lions. And what did they do? They were just going back and forth down the field. I think each quarterback had probably over 250 yards passing. I don't think Jared Goff even had an incompletion. I think that's what we're looking for right now. So
precisely.
Yeah, but I mean, that's for sure going to be my grade for Calvin Ridley. And then our third free agent acquisition, we have our linebacker coming in at Kenneth Murray. What's your grade?
Kenneth Murray. I wasn't too big on Kenneth Murray. He's a great tackler, great downhill linebacker, but pass coverage, he doesn't excel at that. And that's kind of what we needed at our linebacker position because Jack Gibbons wasn't doing it for us. And so we needed a little bit more coverage. He's not the best coverage linebacker, but run stuffer, that's where he excels. Look at that play right there, sideline to sideline. That's what he's known for. They call him like a hammerhead shark. Just go get it. Just downhill, go get it. And so that's kind of what we needed from him. But also I want him to excel at his pass coverage. So I'll just give that a B.
Yeah, when we first got him, I was looking at how he came into the league, one of the better linebackers as far as a rookie, but then every single year it was kind of declined. My grade would have been a C. I guess now looking back on it or looking now where we are right now, I mean, he's been balling out. Again, I think the pass coverage is where he needs to excel a little bit more. I'd say a B- for me. It can easily turn into an A. I just need to see more turnovers. I think that goes for the whole defense in general. Can you give me those turnovers that we're looking for? I think we're ranked number 1 in terms of pass yards allowed, I believe. We got to get the turnovers to prove that we're an elite defense, to let everyone know that, hey, even though our record says we're 1-3, we are the Titans, basically. We came here to play and we come here to make some noise. So I think that's going to be my grade for Kenneth Murray as well. And so we're going to go ahead and see our other grade as well. And by the way, if you hadn't already done so yet, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate all the people who have supported us thus far, all the other podcasts out there. If you have a podcast as well, Titans or football podcast, we'll shout you out. Just make sure you comment, like, share with someone. Just get the chat blowing up. But yeah, we appreciate everyone just tuning in today. But we're going to go ahead and continue And to our next one, we have Mason Rudolph. What's your grade?
Y'all know it. Y'all, I've been saying it since we got him. Best backup quarterback in the league. Went 3 for 3 with the Steelers last year. Had over like 200 pass yards in each game, maybe. You might want to fact check me on that, but he did go 3 and 3 for sure. And so just a veteran quarterback to have in the locker room to help with the development of Will Levis. Love to see him on a team. And that's it. He's just a backup quarterback, the best backup quarterback in the league, maybe. But I just an A.
Yeah.
That's just an A, just an A move. Just a great addition to the team.
Yeah, I say a B. I mean, you always want a solid backup quarterback. I don't think he's just going to do anything special or just out,
No.
all world. But at the same time, he's going to win you games. And we saw that on Monday night. He didn't turn the ball over. He just, checked it down. Although we only had 3 passes in the second half, thanks to our running back duo and offensive line just creating those holes. I mean, he went out there, didn't create any turnovers. I think that's what we're looking for in a backup quarterback. Again, it's not going to be, too flashy or anything like that one way or the other. We just want you to go out there, make sure you don't turn the ball over, give it to your
Mm-hmm.
playmakers and get the win and get up out of there. So yeah, so that's going to be my grade. Solid B, maybe to a B plus. But yeah, I think that's a really good grade as well. Let's see here. Our next one we got here is going to be none other than Tony Pollard, running back, came from Cowboys. What's your grade?
As of right now, like looking back on it, as soon as it happened, I was like, just a B, B plus. But now it's looking like an A minus move. He's producing very well. I still want to see Tajay as the number one back, but the duo between Tajay and Tony Pollard is a great duo. So as of right now, I'll give it an A minus. That was a great offseason move. We didn't have depth at the running back once we let Derrick Henry walk. Well, we didn't let him walk. It was just it was a mutual decision. It's the Derrick Henry thing is as mutual as a football departure can be. But for Tony Pollard, I'll give him just an A minus. Just a great move. Develops the backfield a little bit more and he helps to see what we have in Will Levis. So just an A minus.
Now, does that hurt you now that we don't have Derrick Henry, King himself, going to Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, holding on to that rock? Does that hurt, or is it like, dang, like how do you feel about that situation right now?
I don't think it hurts. I was at Derrick Henry's last game against the Jags. He gave his farewell. You know what I'm saying? We knew he was leaving. It doesn't hurt. I just want to see him do better. So I want him to win a chip this year. So
Yeah.
like it doesn't really hurt. It's a little nostalgic, but I just love the position he put himself in. So love it for him.
Yeah, I think as Titans fans, we want him to succeed. Now, maybe it's not the Baltimore Ravens that we have like a kind of a rivalry with a little bit, but at the same time, it's Derrick Henry. I mean, he gave us some great 8, maybe 9 years of playing. He didn't even start, the first 2 years. I think he came in as a backup, took the reins, and just what an incredible run. So shout out to Derrick Henry. I know I'm wishing him success. I watch him.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for him, to this day. He'll always be a Titan. But yeah, it does hurt because it's like, dang, man, we wish we could have got you there to that promised land. We really wish that we could have gave you that chip that you really deserve. But again, hopefully, he has some success at the Baltimore Ravens and, throughout his other careers as well. I think he has at least 5 more years in the tank. That's a beast. And if you ever seen his diet, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, shout out to Derrick Henry. Our next pre-agent acquisition we have is L'Jarius Sneed.
A plus plus. I gave Calvin really an A plus plus plus. I'll just give L'Jarius Sneed an A plus plus. There's a step under Calvin Ridley, but we just desperately needed a cornerback one. He's only allowed like less than like 20 receiving yards or something like that. Might want to fact check me, but it's something crazy like that. Like allow like 3 receptions under 20 yards or something like that. And so we just needed a number one corner. Great trade, only a 3rd rounder. So, and we know Rand Carthon is great with the late round, the 4th through 7s. Look at Jarvis Brownlee. Look at Jalen Harrell playing a great role position. And so I don't think giving up a third round for L'Jarius Sneed is a bad acquisition. So I love it. A++.
Yeah, I'm giving a solid A. I don't think we've ever had like a really true number one cornerback in a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last cornerback that I can really think of was maybe Cortland Finnegan. Shout out to Cortland Finnegan as well. We got a few pictures with him. It was like one picture where I was at college at Sanford, and then maybe 10 years later. So we'll have to throw that on a video one day. But yeah, shout out to Cortland Finnegan or Pac-Man Jones as well. I mean, those are the quarterbacks that I really think of that were actually, maybe some number one cornerbacks. But, in the previous years, I can't remember not one cornerback to where it's like, hey, we can put you on a cover one or a man-to-man situation and we'll be fine. And, I have no worries about that. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be a solid A for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Our next one, Cheeto. What you think?
Cheeto, just a B-. A B-. He's hurt and he's always had injury problems, but when he's playing, he's known. He was for the Bengals a number one cornerback. Now he's a number two, so you got him on the number two receiver. I like that matchup. L'Jarius Sneed on your best receiver, which is straps every day, and then you got Cheeto on your second best receiver. And so Cheeto coming from the number one receiver role to being a number two, yes, he's up there in age, but I still feel like he can cover their second best receiver all day, any day.
Yeah, taking the fact that he's injured right now, and shout out to Jarvis Brownlee as well. I mean, stepped up on that Miami Dolphins. Again, that just shows you what Ran Carthon puts together when it comes to those free agents and the draft as well. But yeah, that's a solid B for me, maybe a B plus. Not the fact that he's hurt right now, so it kind of sucks that he is hurt, but at the same time, you want him as your number two cornerback.
Yeah,
you feel comfortable putting him as a number two cornerback. Yes. If you say Cheeto is our number two cornerback, hey, I'm fine with that. Let's roll with it. Who's our number one? That's who I'm.
Exactly.
So that's the type of energy that I got when we signed him at first. So we're like, okay, we're cooking something. I feel a little bit comfortable putting him in that category as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so our next free agent right here, we have none other than Quandre Diggs. What you think?
Just a desperate safety signing. That's what we needed to help develop Elijah Molden? No. Amani Hooker a little bit more. Elijah Molden got out of here, which is valid. But Quandre Diggs was a great signing, just a ball hawk, just knows the game very well, make the right plays. It's not a liability. That's what and very consistent. That's just what we needed at the safety position.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Quandre Diggs coming in, that was a really, really strong signing. That's probably an A- for me, seeing that we got rid of Elijah Molden. I think that if we kept him, I want him at the slot corner. I was kind of sad to see him go, but at the same time, if that was our starting safety as well, could we have done better? And I think we did in Quandre Diggs. And I think he's progressing each week. I mean, we saw that Miami Dolphins game, that 4th and 1 stop where Tyreek Hill is literally on a jet sweep. He comes in and makes that fourth down tackle. I think he had a PFF grade, one of the highest ones that week as a 91, I believe. So, I mean, he's coming in 91.2. So, I mean, he's coming in and has just been what we needed for this defense, a leader. And also just think of all the captains we've had so far on this team. I mean, Quandre Diggs was a captain. Ernest Jones, what we'll get to later, was a captain. Who else? We got Big Jeff as a captain. Harold Landry, captain.
Calvin,
many captains.
Calvin, D-Hop.
Yeah,
Mason Rudolph, I think, was a captain at some point.
Jamal Adams was a captain at one point.
Jamal Adams, yeah.
So we have some really studs at that defensive position as well. So our next one, what we got here, speaking of which, Jamal Adams, what you think?
Even though he hasn't been living up to it, I still say a A-, strictly because of the contract. 1 year, 1.25, I think. That's a great contract for a vet. I would like to see him tackle more and make big plays when he is on the field, because when he has been on the field, he hasn't been the best tackler. But for what he is and what he's known for, getting out to the quarterback, blitzing, blitz boy as they call him. For for the contract to be 1.25 mil, I'm taking. I don't know who else wouldn't want to sign him.
Yeah, I think this is where we kind of disagree a little bit. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna say a C minus.
Ooh.
Just strictly, I understand the contract. I understand is 1.2 mil, I believe, somewhere around there, for someone who is a former Pro Bowler. But again, if you're not seeing the field paying you that money, even though relatively it's $1 million, Nick Westbrook Akina is getting paid probably that same amount, and I feel like he's been performing a lot more than Jamal Adams right now. Not to mention all the injuries that he's had so far. It's a solid signing, and I think it does get us excited as the Titans organization to where like, oh man, we got Jamal Adams. I just don't want our fans to view us as, oh man, this is the Titans where the retirement home for all these
Yeah.
superstars. And so I really want him to come in. Again, these grades may change. These are not finalized grades. So I'm hoping to see more of Jamal Adams. If he sees the field more, I'm not asking for a starter position 50%, but if I can see him around 35-40% of those defensive plays eventually, then I'll be happy. But right now, that's going to be my grade as a C minus, C at best. But yeah, that's Jamal Adams for you. Joseph Day, what you got?
Hey, he's been hooping, especially when Big Jeff wasn't in. last game, him and T Sweat was going crazy against the Dolphins. They gave Aaron Brewer HE double hockey sticks. Like he was going through it. So Sebastian Joseph Day, at first it was just a B minus signing. He hasn't been putting up the good stats or hasn't padded the stats. But as a vet and just a role player, you got to give him a B plus.
I think that's a solid signing. I think it's a B plus. He kind of reminds me a little bit of that Teair Tart, to where if Big Jeff was out, or if Danico Autry was out last year, then you had that Teair Tart that could hold down the fort until they return. So he kind of reminds me a little bit in that similarity. So where you can plug him in and he can get after the quarterback, as we saw. I mean, he has probably, I think, around 2 sacks so far. And a few tackles for loss. So he's been really solid as of lately. So I want a little bit more D-line depth, but I mean, that's a solid signing right there. So I can't be mad at that.
Well, our D-line depth is pretty nice. After Big Jeff and T Sweat, you got Sebastian Joseph Day that has been hooping. Keandre Coburn is hurt right now, but them first 2 games when he had to play and rotate in, he made a play. He made a play when Caleb Williams had to scramble out the pocket. Guess who was there? Keandre Coburn. He was there to make him scramble. And so I'm pretty satisfied with our depth as of right now.
I think I'm just a little greedy. That's all. I want as many as we can possibly get. I mean,
who you want coming off the bench? Quinnen Williams, God.
If that's the case, then man, I'm excited. I mean, we as a Titans fans, I mean, it's been hard, but we've been so close, really right there on the cusp of a Super Bowl, and I think we're really trying to sniff that somewhere, somehow. But yeah, Joseph Day, I give it a solid B plus for sure. That's not Lloyd Cushenberry, but it's Ernest Jones. Everyone, it's Ernest Jones. What you get, Ernest Jones?
Ernest Jones, for what it was, he's a great player. Captain Aaron Donald even said, he was like, "Hey, this is your team." Once he retired, so Ernest Jones was an A minus for me, looking like a B minus, B plus as of right now, because I want to see him make more explosive plays. But signing him to a next year's pick swap for a 5th and a 6th next year. I don't know how Rand Carthon pulled that off, but that's a great signing for a young developmental middle linebacker that's only on a 1-year contract. So if he doesn't pan out to be who you want him to be, we can always just let him walk. But I feel like we will sign him to a long-term deal. He's still young, probably about to start entering his prime. And so once he gels with the defensive line, knows what they're doing, gels with the whole defense, he'll start making those splash plays that we want him to make. But A minus signing.
Yeah, I think this is going to be our second best free agent signing outside of Calvin Ridley. So I'm going to say it's an A plus for sure. The fact that it was like a pick swap for a 5th and a 6th round as well. And he's been just balling ever since he got here. I think he has the most tackles on the team while coming off the bench in the first game as well. So that's
Yeah,
saying something. That's pretty impressive
yeah,
as well. And the fact that he shows that leadership, that grit, that just he just has that it factor, that beast inside of him. I like to
yeah.
see that for sure. But yeah, that's going to be our last free agent acquisition right there. But overall, what would you give the overall grade for the Titans?
A.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel like you can't go A+ because we don't know who Rand Carthon wanted to get. Because I know he was going after Daniil Hunter. Justin Simmons might have been a better fit for the Titans for the safety position because we just need a rangy safety because Amani Hooker can play pretty much anything. We just needed a ball hawk, and I feel like Justin Simmons is more of a ball hawk than Quandre Diggs. And so it's a couple signings that I would probably change or add, but we don't know what Rand Carthon wanted to add. But for what we did get, that's an A.
Man, I'm telling
It
you.
doesn't get too much better than that.
I mean, for the money that we had and who we got to bring into this team, I say it's an A+. I don't think we've seen a free agent like no other. I mean, we always have that one free agent signing. I think years ago it was Jadeveon Clowney. It was
You know?
years ago, right? I think it was Jadeveon Clowney at one year. Another
Uh-huh.
one was a Julio Jones. But yeah, outside of that, it was pretty solid pieces. But I mean, we had A+ of free agency for sure. So shout out to Rand Carthon, Brian Callahan for making that possible. But again, we got to produce. That's the whole thing of it. We can have it, as many people as we can and all these all world players, but if we're not producing, we got our records reflect that. So, but before we get out of here, we're going to do just a quick NFL Week 5 pick 'em. That's going to be one to watch. We got some games to really watch out for that I'm really excited to see now that the Titans aren't playing this Sunday or Monday. But we're going to just do this really quickly, Trey. So you're just going to give me your thoughts, maybe one or two statements, who you think is going to win. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. The first game that we got here, Jets and Vikings.
Ooh. I want to say the Jets, but the Vikings are 4-0 right now. They have been hooping. This one's tough. This one's tough. But give me the Jets. Give me the Jets.
Okay.
I feel like they're finally going to start clicking, and Aaron Rodgers can take you to a dub against the weaker Vikings defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings on this one. You got Aaron Rodgers. They came off a loss. I know he's pretty upset about that. For me, give me the Vikings. They're on the road. Sam Darnold's looking really good. That may be a comeback player of the year award winner right there. So
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead and give me the Vikings on that one. Our next one, Panthers at Bears.
This is a terrible game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you don't know what to expect in this matchup. You don't know if Caleb Williams is going to click. You don't know if the Panthers with Andy Dalton, right? I'm pretty sure it's Andy
Mm-hmm.
Dalton.
Andy
We don't
Dalton.
know if they go continue the streak their own. But this might be a terrible game, but a great game to watch at the same time. But give me the Panthers. Give me the Panthers.
Okay. You got the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Bears on this one. I think
Ooh.
this is the game that Caleb Williams finally clicks. Everything is starting to come together for him. The game's starting to slow down. And against the Panthers defense, I'm not really too sold about. But yeah, go ahead and give me the Bears on this one to go ahead and pull it out for the win. Our next one, Baltimore
I do it
against
every
the
time.
Bengals. Every
I do
time,
it
huh?
every time. Every time. Give
Okay.
me the king. Give me the King Henry. And hey, give me the King Henry and the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? He's in a different zone by himself. King Henry presenting the Raiders, the Ravens. So give me Derrick Henry all day.
And shout out to our Cincinnati Bengals family out there, getting that win against the Panthers. So yeah, but yeah, as well, give me the Baltimore Ravens. I can't go against the Baltimore Ravens and King himself going into Cincinnati, getting that dub against Joe Burrow and company. Yeah, so nothing more needs to be said right there. Go ahead and give me King Henry to get that win. Our
Mhm.
next game that we have, Miami Dolphins against New England Patriots.
What quarterback are we getting for the Dolphins? Are we getting Skylar Thomas? Thompson.
Thompson,
Are we
I
getting
believe.
Skyler? Are we getting Skyler? Are we getting Snoop?
I don't know.
I feel
I
like you
don't know.
got to take the Dolphins for what it is because the Patriots aren't looking good. They're just not. So just give me the Dolphins. Just give me the Dolphins. They will figure out a way. You got to.
OBJ is coming back this game, so I think that's a little bit exciting. But until they figure out that quarterback situation, I can't really pick the Dolphins right now. I want to. I believe in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I really do. And company. Give me the Patriots as much
Oh
as I
wow.
do not
Oh
like the
wow.
Patriots.
Oh wow.
Give me the Patriots to pull it out. Just from what I've seen against the Dolphins, they had no momentum on offense. We don't know what quarterback that we're getting. It's coming off a short bye week as well, or a short week after playing on Monday night. I gotta take the Patriots on this one. Our next game that we got: Browns, Commanders. What you thinking?
Give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders. Jaden Daniels is him. Jaden Daniels is him. Hey, I heard rumors about both of these teams trying to get Devontae Adams. This might be the game that decides where he goes. This might be the game. Devontae Adams is looking at this game like, if Washington wins, I might go there. If the Browns wins, that might be where I'm going. So give me the Washington to pull this out.
And then also, you heard it here first. Devontae Adams will be going to the New York Jets to rejoin Aaron Rodgers. That's going to
Wow.
be my take on it. Devontae
Wow.
Adams will be going to the New York Jets. It's already written. But yeah, not talking about Devontae Adams. Talking about this game right here. Give me Jaden Daniels as well. Rookie of the Year candidate. He's been all
Mm-hmm.
world. I don't see how you're stopping this offense right now, especially going into Washington. Cleveland, that's got a little commotion and a little chaos going around with Cleveland. I can't take Cleveland. Go ahead and give me Jaden Daniels to pull it off with another win to improve. I believe it's to 4-1 on the
Yeah.
year. So yeah, give me Washington Commanders to win that one. Then our next game, we got the Colts against the Jags. Who you got?
Give me the Colts. I don't think the Jags are are what we thought the Jags were going to be. They paid Trevor Lawrence all that money, and he's showing us the Danny Downs effect. Paid him all that money, hasn't been producing. So give me the Colts and Michael Pittman. I said it last week, and what did I say? He was going to
You
get
did say
100
that.
some yards, and he got like 114. Come on now, we know what we're talking about on this podcast, so you better keep tuning in.
And then for all
my
you
hot
bettors
take.
and fantasy players out there, might want to listen now. We may give you a little here and there, a little tidbits, you know. So if
Yep.
you play fantasy, we'll try to help you out to win that fantasy league. But for this game, give me can the Jags get their first win in
0-5.
Jacksonville? I don't think
0-5.
so. Go ahead and give me the Colts, especially if Joe
0-5.
Flacco is playing. I don't know if Anthony Richardson, that hip is still bothering him, but if Joe Flacco is playing, I think that's going to be one of your better quarterbacks as far as backup quarterbacks go. So yeah, simple as that. Give me the Colts to improve. Jacksonville, no win.
0-5.
Bills,
Mm.
Texans, tough one. What you got?
Mm. Oh, this one might be tough. The Texans secondary isn't the best. Their safeties are pretty weak. So if you can get Keon Coleman or whoever else you got on the Bills wide receiver core, because there's not too many notable names, but if you can get them deep, you might be able to make a couple plays. But give me the Texans. Give me the Texans to pull this out. They got just the firepower on offense. Defense is starting to click. Give me the Texans.
I got the Texans by 3 on this game. I do
Mm.
like the Bills. I like Josh Allen, what he's been doing without Stephon Diggs. But again, this is a reunion right here. So I think Stephon Diggs is about to, not that it's going to be a, hey, this is what y'all missing out on, but at the same time, this is what y'all are missing out on. So this is going to be a reunion. And then again, Stephon Diggs doesn't have to be, that number one receiver anymore. He has company, and Nico
Yeah.
Collins and company.
Tank Dell.
So But yeah, give me the Texans. Go ahead and win. Unfortunately, trying to catch up with them as a Titans fan, but right now it's looking like they're pulling ahead, especially with this win right here. So our next game that we got Oakland Raiders against the Broncos. Who you got?
I'm pretty sure Devontae Adams is still not playing in this game. Bo Nix has been a decent quarterback. Ooh. But give me the Raiders. Mad Max Crosby is about to have another 2-3 sack game against their right tackle, which is who? Don't even know exactly. So, so go ahead and give me the Raiders and Jacoby Myers over 80 receiving yards. Put it
Yeah,
in.
I went against the Raiders last time. I think that was my mistake. So let me go ahead and get the Raiders this time. Raider Nation, I think y'all are going to pull it out without Devontae Adams. I think Gardner Minshew is going to find a way. This is going to be a kind of a really grimy game. This is not going to be a pretty game whatsoever. It's just
Nah.
who can, just make it to the end. So go ahead and give me the Raiders to win that game at Bronco Nation. Cardinals, San Francisco. What you got?
I kind of want to pick the underdogs in this one.
Underdog. Okay, upset alert.
I kind of want to. Oh, I kind of want to pull the upset, but not this time. But not this time. Give me the 49ers to pull this one out. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, for me, give me the 49ers as well. They're looking pretty good. Now, again, the upset alert is definitely there. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. looking really good. If they can get that on that connection going, establish that running game. I do like the Cardinals' chances. But going to San Francisco, just them being a complete powerhouse and for the past few years. Yeah, give me the San Francisco 49ers for this one. Green Bay at the Rams. Who you got?
Give me Green Bay. Give me Green Bay. Oh, Jordan Love is back. Romeo Dobbs is being conflict with him in the locker room, but I feel like he was saying he doesn't like his role, and so I feel like they're going to feed him the ball a little bit more. We're also two great wide receivers behind him, and so give me the Packers to win this one. Still not sure if Puka is playing this week, but we know Cooper Kupp is out, and so Puka is out too.
I think Puka is out. Cooper Kupp is out. I think a few other receivers like Robinson maybe a little bit banged up as well. So yeah, for that reason as well, give me the Green Bay. There's too many injuries on the LA Rams. Also, their defense is not that good. I think they're ranked 31st as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're trying to stop Green Bay, Jordan Love and company, good luck with that. Again, who knows? But right now, give me Green Bay. They got beat by the Vikings last week, I believe. I think it was at one point like 28-0 or something like that, but ended up coming back to lose 28-31. So they can put up points on you. So give me Green Bay to win that one for sure. Last few games, we got the Giants against the Seahawks.
Give me the Seahawks. If you don't have Kenneth Walker on your fantasy, trade for him. Should have did it last week because it's going to be another two touchdown game for him. He's going to get 2 touchdowns, put it in the parlay if you want to. But if you don't have Kenneth Walker, try to trade for him. Try to trade for old K9. Also, wide receiver core is great against the Giants defense. So it's just not a great matchup for the Giants at all. So give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think Malik Neighbors, unfortunately, I have him on my fantasy football team. He is out in concussion protocol. So give me the Seahawks just for that reason. Not only that reason, but I mean, Geno Smith has been putting up numbers, 300 yards passing, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, they're doing work, and Kenneth Walker in the backfield. It's a pretty easy pick for me. So go ahead and give me Seahawks to win that one. Last few games, I think this is a Sunday night game. Cowboys against the Steelers. How about them Cowboys? What you got?
Yeah. Give it the Cowboys. I will take the Cowboys. I don't like rooting for them at all, but I feel like you got to go with the Cowboys on this one against the Steelers. Get the away game. Cowboys will come out with this one with a dub.
I don't like either team. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Cowboys or the Steelers.
No me.
Cowboys simply for the fans, and then Steelers just because that's just a good rivalry that we've had in the past. So I don't like either of them. But for this game, go ahead. It is crazy, ain't it? But go ahead and give me the Steelers to win this one. Micah Parsons is out, so I think that pass rush is not going to be as effective as it's been this year. So give me the Steelers and Justin Fields. They're going to find a way. And again, this is going to be one of those games to where you think it's going to be a lot of points. This is going to be a 17-20 type game, 21-point type game. I think the Steelers can pull it out at home.
Who's guarding CD?
Who's guarding CeeDee Lamb?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
nobody. Back to our last game. But back to our last game.
Back to our last team. We got the Saints at Kansas City. I think this is our Monday night football game right here. Who you got?
I'm never, ever going against Patrick Mahomes ever again.
Especially at home, right?
Yeah, he's ruined my parlay too many times. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, go ahead and give me the Chiefs on this one until they show me that they can lose. I mean, and at home, that's a big task for Derek Carr and company to come in to Kansas City and try to get that win on Monday Night Football at that. Now again, Rashee Rice, he's out on IR, I believe, so they're missing that receiver. But again, Xavier Worthy, he's been balling out, and I think really the Kansas City Chiefs, until they can show me that they can be stopped, I'm just going to take them to go ahead and get that win for sure. But that's all the time that we have. Hopefully you enjoyed our picks. Hopefully we have the same picks. Hopefully we win your fantasy games and let you know exactly who's going to be in and who's going to be out. But before we go, make sure like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, tell everyone about this podcast. Any last thoughts, Trey, as well, before we head out?
Nothing too crazy. Just if you got any fantasy or anything that y'all want to talk about, leave it in the comment section. We'll get to it. We'll make a video on it if it's worthy. But I'm kind of sad that the Titans, they brought up the Bama game. I don't want to talk about it.
We want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
We're out of time.
We're out of time. You hear the music playing.
Time. We can't talk about the Bama game. We're still trying to recover from that. Music's just started playing. That just means that we got to go. But appreciate everyone who's tuned in for the Right Titans podcast. Again, this is your boy J Maul.
Trigger Trey.
And we are out.
I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it fast, I got you.